Well, Halloween is over, and it's now that time of the month where I get to tell you about the new content we're going to be getting over here on the NA version of the game for this wonderful month of November. Now, we do have a pretty good idea of what we're actually going to be getting this month. Last month was a little bit dodgy because they could have thrown some surprise events in there. Maybe they really wanted to stuff in a couple of those bonus events. Maybe they could have thrown in the 24 million download campaign. I was like, maybe we'll see this a bit earlier, but didn't look like they did any of that. They just were like, we're going to play it safe. We're going to do the Halloween event. And then we're going to throw Gudaguda over here, which we are currently finishing up over here on the NA version of the game. We just finished the raids. I believe the main story is now done as of this video going up. It should already be done. So if you want to kind of just catch up, if you didn't farm any raids or anything, you can just kind of wrap things up like that. Or it's going to be wrapping up in like the next day or two. Basically, we're pretty much done with this event. It's going to be wrapping up on the 8th. So that is going to be next Wednesday, right? Which is a little bit weird. It seems that our schedule has kind of shifted a bit, where normally on NA we get our updates on Monday, but it might look like we're kind of getting a small shift in our schedule where we kind of get our stuff on Wednesday, which might be nice because that's also when JP usually does their things as well, so keep that in mind. Although JP's kind of all over the place because originally they did this stuff on Fridays. Sometimes they do them on Wednesdays, so let's just kind of keep it posted and kind of keep a lookout over here and see if they're still going to do stuff on just like Monday and Wednesdays, or they're just kind of, I don't know, the dates were a little bit weird for this event or whatever. But moving forward, one of the first things that we should see as soon as this event goes away is we should see the 24 million download campaign. This is pretty much one of the next few things that they have left to go and throw our way as we prepare for the next Gudaguda event, which should be kind of more of a major event, quote unquote, at least in the way that they're kind of holding it in regards. I know that some of you guys might not be all that gassed about it, but they're like, we're bringing out like 2 new 5-star servants as a free-to-play and everything. So at the very least, they seem to kind of hold it in very high regard, but I don't know. I'm not really like all that gassed up for it, but we'll kind of talk about that when we get there. Now, the 24 million download campaign is pretty nice. I mean, you get like nice login bonuses and everything. There's missions and stuff. You obviously have the daily quests and everything that go, half off on everything, but do not be fooled. Take these apples and you hold onto those. You clutch those like it's your purse or your wallet or something like that. You hold on to those tightly because in December, we're going to be getting a very good lottery for Christmas. It's actually going to be a rerun of the Santa Carna lottery, and it's also going to bring Scotty back around. But more importantly, you want to hold on to those apples because we're going to have, nice farming to do. It's like the last good farming we have for a decent little bit over here on the NA version of the game. So make sure you hold on to those. I know a lot of people are still reeling from, Nero Fest, then Summer, then Hunting Quest, then this event. Like, you got all these like really crazy events to farm that are just back to back to back. I mean, even these raids were really, really nice. So make sure you hold on to these. The 10 tickets can be very nice if you want to summon on this banner in particular. That's going to be bringing Ibuki and Kentoki over here back, and they're both very, very strong servants. I can understand if you do want to go ahead and summon for them. Kentoki kind of makes your life really easy with the 90 plus and 90 plus plus content just because he's a berserker, has a 50% battery, he's buster, just does big damage. You can just chuck him at any big dude and he'll drop him. Like, he'll take him out, and then even if it's like a 111 node, you can just have him straight up loop through it because he's got a 50% battery. So he's really good. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have Ibuki, who's a really good buster looping servant, right? With their 50% battery, just solid good damage. And then they have like a pretty decent power mod, right? So they're also pretty decent over there. They, I believe they have a funny interaction. I think it's with the Summer Woo, because she has an undead power mod, if I'm remembering correctly, and Summer Woo can like stick that onto people, so you can do really funny things by like forcing her power mod next summer whenever that does happen. Now, one thing to note is that there's going to be some stuff coming back into the Da Vinci shop over here, and 2 of these you might want to take note of. If you are somebody that did pull Jacques, this is going to be coming back in the Da Vinci shop for like 300 mana prisons or something. And the reason it's really good is that you could stick this on one of your cards and have, say, Jacques or someone else, but ideally you'd put it on Jacques, right? Have her use one of her cards on the enemy you're going to be smacking your NP with. get that curse damage on them so you can proc her damage mod, right? Until she gets the buff on her 3rd skill where all of her cards just have that natively, it's really good to be able to have this on all of her cards, so that way you can kind of always proc the damage mod without having to fire the NP. That way your NP always gets that power mod, especially on the one large enemy. Like typically you'll use the card on one of the bosses or someone that's really large in a wave that you're going to be farming. So this is very good. There's also this one over here. This is really good for people like, say, Tamamo Cat, for your Okita Assassins, basically just any one of these weird servants that has like a weird stun debuff. Even Saber Tomoe has one on her 1st skill, I believe, where after the 3 turns of her doing like the crit damage and everything, she will stun herself for a turn. I think that's what it is. And you could slap this on one of their cards to prevent that, because it's stun like immunity basically, because it makes you immune to any of these things, like, charm, whatever. But mainly it's for these stun servants is what a lot of people are using it for. And you have it for 2 turns when you use it. So even if you're going to fire your NP, say, next turn, you're not wasting it, right? So it's really good for some of those servants. Do not miss out on either one of these. So the next major event we should be seeing, and pretty much the main kind of hype for November, is going to be this event. And now there's going to be 2 camps of people. You're probably going to be like me, where you're just like, I'll play the event. It'll probably be a fun read, because it's Gudaguda. Gudaguda is just generally like pretty enjoyable, right? Like I like most of the servants and everything and what's going on there. Or you're going to have the other camp of people that are going to be like super gassed out because the banners are pretty decent. Like, they're not bad. Like, you have Izuma over here, who I've been talking about all year, is a very strong, quick DPS servant. They've got, like, a 50% battery. They've got, like, the ability to build up and just get stronger as the fight goes on. I just really like the way they're built. I still think they hold up rather well, and they were very underrated when they came out. You also have, say, Izo and Mori coming back on the same banner. So if you're me, who does not have their Izo NP5, he's still NP2, and I found this out when I was farming the raids. I don't even have a copy of Mori. This will be nice to maybe snag a copy of him, right? It'll be nice at the very least for going in and trying to grab some of them, which I don't know how I don't have Mori, because I'm pretty sure I did summon on the Avenger Nobu banner, so no idea how I don't have him. But then we also have the second banner over here. Maybe you're not as interested in Izumo, and maybe you really want to go after, the FGO couple's goals over here with Ryoma, or you really want to try to get Mao Nobu again, which I might try to do, because you also got Okita Soji, who's going to be on here, and then you also have these 2 guys over here. So this is kind of a nice banner, and you will also get some nice strengthening for Mao Nobu over here, who just kind of is getting progressively better. When she dropped, I thought a lot of people were being really harsh on her. I didn't think she was that bad when she dropped. It's like people were like, she's just not doing Jalter damage. But I'm like, it's fine, right? You bring it against like Divinity people. She has like the attack scaling thing. She's not all that bad. But now who's laughing? She's getting all these like power mods and everything, and she's getting all these buffs and stuff over here. Yeah, now who's laughing? I just love that she's getting like progressively better, and everyone's like, oh, I always thought she was good and everything. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, I was like, I saw you when she came out. You were saying she was doo-doo water. No, I was like one of the very few people that was like, the servant's all right. Like, she's okay. Like, I think she's fine. Now, the 2 oddball things for November, one is going to be the Apocrypha banner over here. Because now I'm starting to, like, gaslight myself into thinking we already got this banner, but I don't remember getting it this year. But I'm like, did we already get this repackaged? Because it's supposed to come out towards the end of the year here, but I'm like, I swear we have not got it, because I'm waiting for Archer Jean on this banner, who's going to be coming back. And, if you're wanting any of the other Apocrypha servants, if you want Semiramis, you want Amakusa, you want Saber Astolfo, like, these are all very good, like, limited servants to go after, especially, like, Ryder Mordred as well. Like, I have her at NP1, she famously has the issue where she will loop 100% of her NP back and will not kill the enemy. So it's like, Mordred, you gotta actually defeat the people over there, but that's what NP1 is like, right? She really needs those extra NP copies, and you pretty much just have all these different just pairings of different banners. Unfortunately, I don't think there's one with Archer Jean and Ryder Mordred. That would be like my dream banner to summon on, but I'm waiting for this, and I'm like, man, I don't remember getting this, and I swear I'm not like gaslighting myself into thinking that we're not getting this banner, but I think we're supposed to be getting it. And I imagine it'll be repurposed as like the winter campaign. Think like 2 years ago when they took the prototype CD release, and they took the Ozzy and Arthur banner that you're supposed to get for that, and they just kind of repurpose it as like, oh, winter celebration or whatever, and they just threw that stuff out there, right? I imagine we'll get like a repurpose for that, unless they're is just some random like Fate Apocrypha thing that should be coming out. I don't know if they're gonna release a Blu-ray over here in the States, if they have or have not. I don't buy Blu-rays and stuff. I don't know, man. So we should be waiting on this, unless we've already gotten it and I'm just forgetting for some reason. But I think I would have remembered if we had a Saber, or not Saber, but a Archer Jean thing come back. All right, so then there's this. This is the real, I guess, prize for the month of November. The Thanksgiving banner, where we get a bunch, a handful of different limited servants come back around. Now, last year, I was a little disappointed with this selection last year, just because I'm like, Benny Enma's good, but she's not, I guess, hype per se. Nero Caster is, I guess, a little bit more hype, but she's kind of, you can get mixed results. I like her kind of at NP2, but sometimes I still get a little bit of issues. But, you know, she's strong, right? Like, she's fine enough. Summer BB's going to be getting a buff later on next year, so, you know, she'll become really, really nasty if she gets that. But, you know, very hype servant. Okay performance, you know, when she came back for 2022. Still an okay servant. Ereshkigal also, again, okay servant when she came back around. And then we got Buster farming and stuff. She gets a lot better, got her buff, and got a lot stronger. Hassan is going to get a buff that's going to make him a lot better. I'm not the biggest fan of him right now. Like, I will use him. I just won't be super happy about it. But then, now that he's got his buff on JP, I am really excited to use him with that buff. It looks like he just got significantly better. Like, he, the joke for the assassins is that there's realistically only one real, like, assassin, and that is Kama, because Kama is so much better than all the other assassins that they all just kind of, like, look bad in comparison. So, maybe if we didn't have Kama, maybe I actually would be like, oh, I like this guy a lot more, but it's like, well, instead of using Hassan, I'll just use Kama or something, right? But, you know, aside from all that, like, we should get, like, another good Thanksgiving banner coming back around. I don't know. Like, I might think a little bit, and maybe I'll do, like, a video on, like, speculating who should come back around, because, you know, we've been doing that for the last, like, 2 months on stream, which, you know, shout out stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. EST, link in the description. But we've been talking about that, and I'm like, well, yeah, I would like Summer BB, but she's going to be coming back for the Seraph Grail front, like, early next year. So there's a lot of servants that I'm like, I don't know, with the amount of reruns that Lasengla has been doing for their limited, you know, servants, which is good. It makes them a lot less limited, you know, quote unquote. I don't really know who they want to throw out over here. I mean, someone like Gilgamesh, I guess, is always like a very safe bet. Like, he's strong, very, very popular. You could chuck him out there. Like, maybe like a Maid Altar. I don't think I've seen her in quite a while. And I would say someone like Scotty would be really hype, but Scotty's coming back, you know, for December. You have Castoria, who already came back. Koyan Sky is already going to be coming back in New Year's. And so it's like, maybe they want to do like Merlin or Oberon. Like, if they brought Oberon back for Thanksgiving, that would be wild. Imagine like you see like the tweet out from the FGO thing, or you see somebody like make a community post on, you know, whoever your main news guy is. Hopefully it's me, Ryder, but you know, I'll make a video and it pops up and it's like, Oberon's on the Thanksgiving gacha. Like, that would be crazy, because I don't think he comes back on like an official, like, real rate up for like another year and a half or something. Like, he's gone for quite a while. He's on GSSRs, but, you know, like, good luck. Oh, did you get the 1 in 7 chance of pulling him? Nope. Well, that's tough titties, buddy. Like, guess you're gonna have to wait for the next one, right? So if they threw him on here, that I think would be absolutely wild. I don't think it's unprecedented, because Koyenskaya has a pretty quick turnaround. You know, Morgan has a pretty quick turnaround and a just metric butt ton of banners. Melusine has a very quick turnaround. So if they wanted to kind of finish the turnaround for all those servants and also throw Oberon on here, I think that would be crazy. I think that would be nuts, but it makes sense to me, right? So that way you don't have to wait, you know, another year and a half, or at least instead of having to wait like this next like year and, you know, change that we're going to have for the next Oberon banner, at least you got a second shot at him, right? Especially when the rest of this like year, you might have already been saving your Saint Courts for like Scotty, but you know, if Oberon goes out on this banner, dude, screw Scotty, go for Oberon, right? Like, sorry, quick is fun and all, but I want to actually win, right? Like, I want to be on the winning team. I don't want to be on the losers over there, right? That's just how it's got to be. I'm saying it like it is. And you know what? If you want Scotty, just go for Ruler Scotty during the summer. She's better for farming anyway, right? Like, she gives you the 65% quick. She gives you the attack to the defense down. She's great, all right? We love her, right? Like, she's great. So, I don't know. Let me know those thoughts in the comments down below. I will probably make a video talking about that on just different servants that I want to see. come back for the Thanksgiving gacha. You guys can give me your opinions in the comments as well on some of that, and I'll kind of like look into some of the rate ups, because some of you guys will like, you know, are like keeping track of your favorite server, and you're like, I have not seen a BB Summer rate up in the last year, 2 months, 4 days, 4 minutes, and 20 seconds, right? Like some of you guys are like real meticulous at keeping track of your favorite limited servants. So I don't know, let me know that in the comments down below. Maybe we could also see some 4-star limited servants return as well. Like maybe they could throw like Salter on here, right? Because I know a lot of people want to finish their Salters, their Lancer also and stuff as well. So like that could also be really good as well. So let me know all that in the comments down below. And also let me know if I'm gaslighting myself. Please let me know if I'm not like being a crazy person. I mean, that would be very crazy because I keep talking about wanting to summon on this banner. And if we've already gotten this banner, though, that means my Twitch chat has been gaslighting me for the last like 3 months, because every time I'll bring it up, they're like, yeah, so she's coming back around, Summer Jean's gonna be making her return. That means my chat has been gaslighting me, which is, it would be very funny, but I'll also be very upset. I'll be like, dude, why didn't nobody tell me that I was being a crazy person? But all right, with all that being said, for real, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace, late guys.